Hi guys, so this video does start off a little abrupt because I did split it down in two. If you guys haven't checked out the first video, it's talking about the pros only, and this video is talking about the cons. So go ahead and check that out and enjoy this video. The cons. So let's get into the cons. So he parked right next to me and looked right in this window. I hope you guys like this video for all this embarrassment I'm feeling. But my first con is going to be that you're alone. And it's not my con. It's probably your con, right? Sometimes I guess it would get lonely, right? If you're always alone, you don't have a dog. Like, I don't have a dog. You don't invite people in. Everybody's normally busy. You don't have really time to spend with, you know, people that you would probably miss or see on a daily. So extroverts, beware, okay? Beware. Probably second guess this if this is something that you were looking to do, because you're not going to be around your family 24/7, okay? Especially if you're doing the account that I'm on. So that's something to think about. But there are ways to combat it. Like, for instance, team driving. You have the opportunity to drive with, say, for instance, if you have a friend who also has a Class A license, they can drive with you. They do it where you pretty much either one of you drive. The truck never stops. Let's put it that way. Somebody's driving in the daytime, somebody's driving in the nighttime. And it's not literally that order. Somebody could be driving half day, half night, and the other way around. You know what I'm saying? But you guys are always moving. You're not really spending as much time together, but you aren't alone. So you don't have to be alone, right? But yeah, that's a con for someone who doesn't like the time by themselves. Plus, nobody's ever really alone. If I want to get into it, you always got God with you. So another pro, oh, not a pro, this is not a pro. Another con would definitely be traffic. Ooh, traffic is annoying. I don't get into it often, but when I do, oh boy, it is something that can irk me just a little bit. Like, I've been working on my road rage. I haven't really been tripping lately, but that's something that is for another video. I think my worst traffic I've ever been in is California traffic, okay? There was one particular day where they were giving me these loads that were like really next to each other. I guess they wanted to bang out all the loads that were in California. I could have asked them to just quit it and give me a different load out of California, but I was trying to be a good worker, so I didn't want to complain. Man, when I tell you I only drove 72 miles, do you know I burnt my whole clock out because of the traffic? 72 miles is about an hour and a half if I'm going 50 miles an hour, okay? I have an 11-hour clock. I drove 72 miles in 11 hours because that's how bad the traffic was. And no, I'm not playing. It was terrible. I probably was beat red, okay? It was so ridiculous. And a thing about truck driving is you can't maneuver through lanes like you're in a motorcycle. So you are trying to get people to let you over. Californians, they don't like to let you over. They do not care. And to be honest, California period don't care about truck drivers. They rarely have any truck stops. That's another con that I'm gonna get into. But they don't, I mean, you can't even drive over 55 miles an hour in California because they don't really like us out there. I guess we are too polluting and things like that. Understandable. But yeah, you know, so traffic, and it don't help if a road is closed. I just dealt with a road closing this morning. But yeah, the traffic for a truck as opposed to a car is a little bit worse. So, but luckily it doesn't happen often because you're often on an interstate or a highway. So yeah, but that's a con. So another con would definitely be public restrooms and showers. Guys, this is something I've had to get used to, and you would too if you are someone who is looking into truck driving. I, for one, had to get used to it because before getting in a truck, I had my own bathroom. So I felt comfortable sitting on the seat because I knew I was cleaning the seat. I knew it was my behind and no one else's, right? Drastic difference. Very drastic difference. I got into truck driving and recognized that nobody likes to clean up after themselves. Now, not all bathrooms are dirty, okay? They're really dirty in your head. Like, they're dirty in my head, right? And of course there's germs everywhere, and I wouldn't sit on it with my bare behind to save anybody's life. I'm so sorry, but it's not like pee splashed everywhere or like number 2 just dripping off the, it's just in my mind. But something to deal with, okay? Because I have made myself like this routine where I have to take a piece of tissue, flush it down the toilet, make sure I flush the toilet before I sit down. And I also have to make like this palette of tissue after I put the other, like they have this already constructed seat cover. I put that on first, then I put tissue on top of that so that I can mask that because I don't feel like that's thick enough. And then after I do that, I make sure that I already flushed the toilet. And then I always take the first piece of tissue off. Like, it's a strategy. And I also have Lysol, so don't forget to spray your toilet with Lysol all before I even sit down, because I'm not a squatter. I like to relax a little bit, just a little bit. So, and I feel like the pee don't, TMI guys, I'm sorry, I feel like the pee don't come all the way out if you squatting. So, you know, when you're on a truck, you want the pee to come all the way out. You don't want to have to stop in the next 2 hours because you got to pee again. So yeah, and the same for showers. You're not showering in your own shower. You're showering in a shower that other people have showered in. So invest in some shower shoes. And also have a peace of mind with knowing that you should not use the towels that they have. I just throw them on the floor and I step on them because of course I'm not about to stand barefooted on their floor, right? I use my own towels and washcloths and we get it done just like that. And again, the Lysol helps. Also, I want to ban, let me tell you guys, I'm actually insert a picture of a toilet that I'm talking about. I want to ban the motion sensor toilets. Let's ban those. Let's ban those. I know there's somebody out there who feels the exact same way that I feel. How many times have I had to re-put down tissue after the toilet felt that I moved to get up, but I was actually trying to put tissue down as a pallet, and it decided to flush on me, and the water either spurted up and got on the tissue that I had just put down, or if I put my seat cover on there, you know how the part in the middle goes down in the water? After I decided to practically put tissue over that, the toilet flushes automatically and flushes down all the tissue that I just put on the toilet seat. It is nerve-wracking. And let's not even forget the times where you do finally sit down and the motion sensor thinks that you got up and it flushes on you. Oh, I hate that. I hate that with a passion, because Lord knows, and I don't like to use the word hate, but oh, I don't like that splash. Oh, that splash, I'm sweating. I don't like that. So we need to ban those motion sensors. Those toilets can, I'm sorry, they can go to Hades. Okay, I don't like that. That's so disgusting. I don't like it. So yeah, that was my little rant, but let's go on to the next con. Another con is tight streets. Clearly we aren't driving a Mitsubishi, if that's how you call it. Is that how it's said? Mitsubishi, whatever. We're not driving a small car. We're not driving a Honda Civic. We're driving a semi truck, a 18-wheeler. Isn't it 18 wheels? Yeah, 18-wheeler. We're driving the big boy, a 53-foot truck, not even including the tractor attached. So a tight street is like, that's sent by the enemy. Like, you don't want to have to really deal with that. Okay, I know I don't, and luckily you don't deal with that often, right? I don't deal with it often, but when I do, okay, I've had a lot of close encounters where I almost hit a pole. I almost smacked a car. And this is just me being honest, guys. I haven't done it because I do pay attention. But when I say almost, I mean it was close calls because of the tight street. You have to focus on your trailer as you're turning because your trailer drags. Like you're going this way, your trailer is dragging behind you. So it sort of has an angle attached to it as you're turning. And if it's turning at an angle, it may hit something that your tractor cleared. You know, so you have to really pay attention. And tight streets, man, like sometimes your GPS will be bold. Like your GPS will tell you go on this street, right? And you go on the street, or you're about to turn on the street, and it's a residential street. Most residential streets, I'm really saying most, but I mean all residential streets ban trucks. You're not supposed to be on a residential street, but sometimes your GPS will make you go on there. I've been on a residential street. I probably shouldn't be telling you guys this, but that was the scariest day of my life because, Lord, first of all, you block the whole street. I'm not even gonna get into that, okay? Just know that sometimes you will encounter a tight street, and the best way to deal with that is to not, girl, back out that street. Either you back out, because there's been times where I've had to literally honk my horn like I need you guys to back up. Because another thing about going into a street where it's tight is the real reason why it's tight is not just that the street is tight, it's also that there is a line of cars like right next to the lane that you're going through. And if that line of cars is too far up, your trailer has to pass them, and it might touch the first car in that line. So you have to like honk your horn like, dog, back up. I need you to go this way. So, you know, I've had to back up like 6 cars in a row once because my GPS told me to go on the street that probably wasn't supposed to be for trucks, but I did it anyway. And we're gonna slide past this con because I think I'm snitching on myself. The next con is truck parking, okay? Truck parking, it's not really a con, but it's a con if you aren't productive, if you aren't responsible. Like I mentioned earlier that I wake up at 4 in the morning. I do that because I do like to wake up earlier in the day to avoid being done with driving later at night. So generally, when you are, how do I explain this? So depending on the state, and it really just don't even depend on the state. Some states have more truck stops than others, right? Like for instance, California has like maybe 3 truck stops in the whole doggone state. Like you better make sure you get to the truck stop before like 5 p.m. because all of the truck stops will be filled. So, you know, I like to wake up at 4 in the morning because I'll more than likely be done. Like right now, didn't I tell you guys it's like 1? It's probably like 2 o'clock by now. But yeah, it's like early in the day and I'm done for the day, right? I actually woke up at 3 this morning, but it was just because I woke up. That's so not important. But where I'm getting at is there has been times where I have woken up at 8, 9, 10, you know, in the morning. Thought everything was cool. This was earlier, like in the beginning when I first started driving. And waking up that late in the day means that I got done at around 9, 10 at night. And with that being said, a lot of truck drivers are done by that time. So a lot of truck drivers have parked for the night. And the thing about parking is you want to find a good parking spot. You don't want to have to do a bold maneuver at like 10 o'clock at night when you're probably not burnt out, but you're probably like tired from driving all day, and you probably can't see if you're somebody like me. Like I can see, but like would I rather want to do like a 90-degree maneuver in the daytime or at night? I think I would want to do it in the daytime. So things like that, things to avoid. I think this con is avoidable if you just wake up earlier in the day. And also, it's not so much about you parking as much as other people parking, which leads me, I think it leads me to my second con, but it's sort of like in the middle, because I can actually insert some clips, or not some clips, but some pictures where people have hit my mirrors trying to back up. Like I have hood mirrors on my truck, right? And the hood mirrors stick out. So they're like the first mirrors of the truck. And I've had 2 different situations where someone has knocked off my hood mirror trying to back into a spot right next to me. So, I mean, it's not a big deal, but it is when you have to take time to go and get it replaced, because now you're sort of coming out of money. You're not paying for it, but that could have been time spent accruing miles. So, you know, that's sort of a con in itself. But yeah, the truck parking is sort of a con. It depends. And then my other con is the maintenance. The thing about maintenance is it's not a con because you don't have to pay for it. It's more so a con because, like I said, it takes up the time that you would normally use to get your miles together, because your miles is your money. So if you're driving throughout the day, you probably want to hit a certain mile point throughout the day to keep a steady check. If you get maintenance done on your truck, you're waiting for them to finish with your truck. You could either be home as opposed to being, you know, at the repair shop or in a hotel waiting for your truck to be done, and now you're sort of like just out here winging it. Now you can make the most of it, but to some people that may be a con, you know, if you're trying to save 100%. Another thing about the maintenance thing is, I mean, sometimes it could be a little dangerous. That's why you have to really pay attention to your truck, because there could be a time where your truck goes flat, like one of your tires goes flat, and you don't want it to be one of your main tires. Like, you really don't want it to be any of your tires, but if it's one of your steering tires, ooh, I have never seen that in person, but that sounds very dangerous. So maintenance could be a con if you aren't paying attention. So I guess it's a con. Another con is the weather. So thank God I'm in Kansas, and right now it's probably about 42, 40, 45 degrees right now. But no, I was just in like Iowa, and it was like ice rain, right? Weather is a con in the north, and sometimes even in the south. I mean, honestly, it just depends on the time of the year. I'll put it that way. Because we have fog, we have rain, we have snow, we have ice, we have slush, we have wind. Oh my goodness, wind. Huh, girl or boy, if you have ever driven a truck and the trailer was empty, picture it this way. Your truck has a wide surface mass. Like, from the side of your truck, you have a big trailer, right? And it's flat. It's a flat surface. If you're full, like if you have a fully loaded trailer, all right, cool. You heavy, right? So you're probably gonna be able to go through winds, like, you know, strong gusts of winds, probably like 30 miles per hour or so. I wouldn't advise going over 35 miles per hour with a fully loaded truck, because ooh, that guy scared me, because that sounds like you're pushing it a little bit. And if there's ice, I mean, not ice, if there's ice on the ground, you should probably pull over, like. But if it's like snow and slush, so that means that the road is slippery and you're getting strong gusts of wind and your truck is full, you should still probably, you know, pull over a little bit, wait just a little bit or whatever. But baby, if you are in a empty truck, as in your trailer is empty, as in you're probably hauling to, like, you're not hauling anything, you're going to receive a shipment, and them winds are strong, it's like, the fact that it's hollow, you will be blown. Like, I've been blown one time 3 different lanes over, and I am snitching on myself. I am snitching. This was in the beginning though, and I was with my trainer, so, but I handled it great. I handled it great. Clearly, I'm right here, and thanks to God, he helped me, because I think he put his hand on the wheel too, because Lord Jesus, that is a scary thing to deal with. You do not want to have to deal with the wind blowing you. So I say this, but I don't want to discourage anybody, because it's not really a scary thing if you're responsible. Because, for instance, you know when it's starting to pick up with wind. It don't just smack you. It don't smack you. You sort of feel the wind starting to pick up, right? And it also depends on what state you're in. You have to do like checks on the weather, like just to make sure, because say for instance you're on the edge of Wyoming and for whatever reason it says that it's super or let's not use Wyoming because I don't even know where that's at. Ooh, that sounds terrible. Say you're on the edge of California and it says that it's super sunny, no rain, all of that. It's clear for the day, right? But you're about to go into Arizona, and Arizona has like winds like smacking you, right? You should probably check the weather in Arizona before you start driving, because you'll probably end up blown. Not really. You can avoid it even if you get into situations, but that's the point. I don't want to discourage anybody because it's really not a big deal. But yeah, winds, weather in general, ice, don't even dare trying to drive through ice. I've done it once, but I've driven like 10 miles per hour, and it was only because I had to get to a safe haven. It's not really that important. You do not have to get to, like, if your fleet manager is forcing you or like trying to hassle you into starting to drive even when the weather is terrible, you should probably ignore him or call his higher up boss or something, snitch a little bit. But yeah, don't do that. Don't drive when you feel it's unsafe. That's just that. I really don't have anything else to say about that. But yeah, weather is sort of a con. Baby, a con for me would be the shippers and the cons. And cons is short for consignee, which is pretty much the destination in which you're going to be taking your load. The con about it is, and I know my truckers out there, they know what I'm talking about, but it's sometimes hard to find. Like, for instance, you're going to I don't know, let's call a shipper Sally's, right? You're about to pull up to a Sally's, right? Your GPS tells you that it's on the left once you pull down the street about 0.5 miles down. You don't see the building. You just see a couple buildings smashed together, and there's no sign that says Sally's, right? But you are in a truck. It's not like you can just do a U-turn real quick and pull back around, pause a little bit. No, you're going to be blocking the whole street. You probably shouldn't be doing a U-turn if you're in a truck, period. And if you are, you better be in a parking lot somewhere. Like, you know, it's a lot more risky to be trying to turn around when you're in a truck. And so the con about it is sometimes it's difficult to find where you're supposed to be pulling up to. They should definitely have better signs. Like, there's been far more shippers than not in which I had to squint to read the sign because the letters would be real small like this on a big old poster board like this. And it'd be like, dog, you know that there are truckers trying to find you, right? I've had to get out of the truck and ask around, like, where is such and such? Do you guys know where such and such is? Like, you know, and it's not a big deterrent because it doesn't happen too often. If you're paying attention, you will be able to find it. And most likely that is a street in which there are more than one trucking like facilities, so you'll probably just pull up to another area, park in there for a little bit, ask around, do whatever you got to do. You'll probably look across the street and realize that the building says it and you were just blind, right? So it's a con, but sometimes it's avoidable. I really just, if you need glasses for real, make sure you have your glasses. Make sure you have your contacts, because one thing that I would definitely hate is to miss the area in which you were supposed to pull up to. It's a con. All right, so the last con for me is the lack of mobility. When you're driving for 10, 11 hours a day, you have the option to pull over and get out, right? But when you're trying to make that money, you do tend to stay in the truck for a couple hours straight, right? You do have to have a 30-minute break within your driving period. Like, it's mandatory. Your clock will run out within the 8 hours. But that's besides the point. You generally are sitting in a truck for like remainder of the day, like majority of the day. So the lack of mobility, you can gain weight. Yeah. And I'm not trying to do that. Lack of mobility can definitely be a con, but you can make the most out of it because you don't have to be immobile. You can get up, you can pull over, you can bring a jump rope with you, you can enhance your diet. Don't eat too many carbs, don't eat too many things that are high in sugar or fat and things like that. Like me, for instance, before I was on the truck, I was a pescatarian. Now that I'm on the truck, I don't even really eat fish like that because I'm not eating out, and I don't feel comfortable really making fish all that much in the truck. It's just, you know, I'll probably eat tuna fish every now and then, but the smell ain't fun. But so yeah, you can make the most of it. You can do workouts. Like for me, sometimes I do like little windmills with my feet, or I'll go take a walk. I'll purposefully park further away from where I'm supposed to be at so that I can walk. Like, you can really make it your thing, right? You can buy resistance bands and hook them up at the top of your truck. Like, that's what I plan on doing. I plan on like buying resistance bands and like pulling them down. Like, I don't know, I've never used them before, but I figure it's a thing, right? So yeah, you can make the most of it. It's something to think about. But yeah, guys, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So I think that's about it with my pros and cons. If you guys, if there is anybody who has done truck driving and they want to tell me about their pros and cons, or whoever knows truck drivers or whatever, put them in the comments down below. Let me know what your pros and cons are or whatever. I mean, I guess it would be interesting to read. So I'm interested in seeing what you guys have to say about truck driving. But I mean, all in all, truck driving is what you make it. For those who are probably like on the fence about it, let me tell you this. I am a 23-year-old black woman. I am 5'1", and I am like, I have a whole bunch of goals ahead of me, right? If I could do it, then you can definitely do it, right? I'm not a fear factor woman. I'm alone in this truck. I'm doing it on my own, right? But it's not something that I would feel should deter anybody from being on a truck. It's an experience. It's definitely a way to make money, save, and get your traveling. Like, I always feel like everybody has an adventurous spirit inside of them. Get that adventurous spirit out and make money while you're doing it. You know, I think of it as sort of like van life, honestly. Like, to me, I think that you're getting paid to live in a truck. It's pretty fun. So yeah, guys, I think that's about it. I would definitely love if you guys left me some comments or whatever, and if you guys want me to make any other videos, definitely let me know. But yeah, I love you guys so much. It means so much to me, all of the comments that you guys have left me and the likes that you guys have done. And I have, what, 28 subscribers right now? That's unreal. I don't even think I'm close to 28 people. So I know it's not, you know, people that I know. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. It's a blessing for sure. And I'll probably talk to you next week. So bye.